Everybody, the man of Marvel, Stan the Man Stanley, come on up.
Hello. Oh, boy. Am I lucky to have a partner like this up here? All right, it was nice seeing you. I hope you have a good time at the convention.
Sit down.
All right.
All right, so I have plenty of questions for you, but these folks have even more.
If I don't know the answer, what do I do? Don't ask tough questions. Nice, easy ones like, what's your name? Things like that.
My suggestion was say, ghost first go. Answer. Everybody understand that?
I believe we have questions, but I'm not quite sure where the microphones are for folks to come up and ask questions. Somebody want to help me out?
Yes.
Anyone?
Yes, right there.
All right, who has a question?
I do.
Well, go ahead and stand up because I'm not quite sure where the microphones are. In the aisle? Oh, now it's in the aisle. Can you do it?
Hello.
Let her get up there first because she was so sweet and stood up with a bunch of confidence.
My question for you, Stan, is who other than Jack Kirby, who has now passed away, is still part of the crew that first started with you, that is still here with us?
You know, I don't even know. I haven't been to the Marvel offices in so
I'm
long.
here in John Bermuda.
Oh, John Romita, is he still there? He better be still there. John Romita was the most underrated guy by the public. He could draw anything as well as anybody, but he just never got the attention he should have. I remember when Steve Ditko stopped doing Spider-Man, I said, who are we ever going to get anybody who can draw it like Steve so that the readers won't be disappointed? John came along. He did the next 4 or 5 or 6 issues. So much in Steve's style, you wouldn't have known it wasn't Steve who drew it. And then slowly he made it into his own style. But he was wonderful, and he'd better still be at Marvel, or they'll hear from me.
Okay, before we come over here to the next question, Stan, I have a really good question for you. I saw you backstage, but I saw you came in with a really cool looking toy. Can you tell me about that? I've never seen that before. Thank you.
I have a new vehicle.
Tell me more.
Somebody sent me one of these little electric cars. Unfortunately, it's a one-man car, but I'm going to try for a 2-person car later on.
Thank you.
But anyway, it's all electric. You plug it in, and then you drive it around. You push one button to go, and another button regulates the speed. So I've been driving all over, bumping into people all afternoon. It's wonderful.
Very good. All right, thank you. Man, next time it needs to have 2 seats.
All right.
All right, over here. What do we have for you, sir?
Mr. Lee, if you go back in time and talk to yourself back when you started, doing comics, do you think your younger version would, if you told him how big and how popular and how in demand you would be, do you think he would believe you?
I don't know if you were told before, as adorable as I am, I don't hear as well as I used to, so I miss some of that. So don't mind if I ask this gorgeous creature to translate some.
Thank you.
Oh, you don't have to whisper to me.
Now, you might have to help me if I slaughter this. He wants to know if you went back to younger Stan and you knew how big things would be in the future if you would believe younger Stan.
If I would have what?
Believed you.
If younger Stan would believe you
And
on
all
how
the
big it
success.
would, yeah.
If I had known it would be so
How
successful.
successful you'd have been. Would you have believed him?
Oh, no. I still don't believe them. It's really hard to believe because in those days, we were working for peanuts. They paid us so much a page. I think I got $12 a page for writing the scripts. And the artist got about $25 a page for penciling something, it was ridiculous. then they got better and better and more, and I stupidly left the comics and went to do animation when the comics were starting to make all that money. And then I got into the movies when animation started making all that money. I'm always one step behind whatever's making the money, but it's been fun. And I forgot the original question, so I'm probably off the track now
I liked
anyway.
it. I liked it. I think that was just fine. Well,
Thank
what
you,
about you
Mr.
over
Lee.
here?
Hi, Mr. Lee. Somebody as successful as you obviously has a lot of perspective. So my question for you is, why don't you get involved with politics?
Why don't they get involved with what?
Politics.
Oh, well, you're not the first person who have said that I would make the best president of the United States. But you know, those poor guys, they've been in politics all their lives. It wouldn't be right for a newcomer, for a young kid like me to come along and it wouldn't be right. But I tell you this, so that you feel a little bit more secure, they are free to come to me for advice anytime they wish.
Maybe you can help Donald Trump a little bit, huh?
Oh, I've been saying,
Another
I
story for
said
another
to
day.
Donald, I said, Donald, look, you're okay, but tone it down a little bit.
I have a question over here.
Can you actually see these people with all these lights here?
No, I can't. But she's waving at you right there.
Oh, okay.
The man before me asked whether past you would believe future you. But my question is, what would you like to see in the future of Marvel? With all the new movies coming out and all the inspiration that we're getting, what would you like to see happen in the films?
What would I like to see happen in Marvel in the future?
Exactly.
Oh, I'd like to see them stay as good as they are. The one thing that you worry about, when you get to be on the top, and Marvel certainly is now, you want to hope that you don't get lazy or you begin to take it for granted or you get complacent. I want them to work as hard now as they've ever worked. Harder, in fact, because they've got to stay where they are. And there are so many fans that are waiting for the new wonderful stuff to come out, and we mustn't disappoint them. And we won't.
He has a question for you.
All right, my question for you is, in all of your cameos in movies, which one has been your favorite so far?
In all of my cameos, what?
You know, cameos and
Why do I always miss the last part of every question?
I believe it was which cameo in the movies you've made cameos in. Which one's your favorite?
Which one? Now I miss what she's saying. Say that again slowly.
The cameos in the movies?
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite?
Oh, which is my favorite? Every one of them. People are always asking me for my favorite things. My problem is I love everything. I love all the cameos I've done. I love all the movies that we have. I love all the actors. I'm not good at favorites, but the one that I did most recently, that was the one, I think, in the Avengers, where Thor is drinking this strong drink, and I tell him to give me a sip. They did it too quickly, though. They should have stayed on that cameo a little longer. Yeah! Because the next thing you know, I'm dead drunk, and two guys are pulling me out, and I'm going, Excelsior. They didn't give me a chance. I didn't have a chance to really go, Excelsior, the way I should have. Oh, I did another one just recently in the X-Men. The new X-Men movie has one that... What's that?
I'm being told that you're disclosing too much.
I never disclosed. No, I don't need to be warned. I am the soul of discretion.
I want everybody to observe manager here shaking his head.
So the one that I did, he's dying. The one that I did for the X-Men movie, I have a guest star in it with me. But you'll have to see the movie to see who that is. He gets so worried. I don't know.
Because he cares. Okay, let's see. You are next, I believe.
Yes, I am. But before I ask my real question, Mr. Lee, how are you?
I'm well. How very nice of you to inquire. Actually, my doctor gave me a report the other day, and you'll step backstage with me later on. I'll show you the whole thing.
Okay. My real question is, as a man that's created many great stories, sad, good ones, and scary ones, which has been your personal favorite and why?
There you go again with favorites. I love every story every story I read that I've written, I say, geez, this is the greatest thing I ever did. No, I'm not being modest enough. I really say, this is the greatest thing anybody ever did. No, I really, people often ask me, what's your favorite movie? And I'll start mentioning movies, and then I'll realize, wait, there's another one I didn't mention, another one I didn't mention. Do you know in my briefcase at home that I carry to work every day, because I do a lot of interviews at the office, I actually made a list of about 50 movies that I have loved. So when people ask me, what's your favorite movie? I say, wait a minute, and I make them sit and listen to that list of 50 movies. There were really more, but 50 is all I had room for on the page.
At least he's honest, right?
Yep, thank you.
Okay, we have costumes over here. Cosplay. Who are you?
I'm Kick-Ass.
Okay. Go ahead.
What was that?
This is Kick-Ass. He has a question for you.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Yeah. Before I get to my question, you're looking good today, Mr. Lee. Come on.
Only good? That's the best you can do? You're a man with very few adjectives, obviously. Thank you.
My question is, well, in the 90s, there was a crossover between Marvel and DC, and I was wondering if you would like to see that happen again, and would you like to have some involvement with that?
If I'd like to see what happened again,
A cross between Marvel and DC.
a cross between...
And if you'd like to be involved with it.
The only cross I know about between Marvel and DC was some years ago, they published a set of books called Just Imagine. And it was just imagine if Stan Lee had created Superman or Batman or The Flash and so forth. And I wrote my own version of all of those. The versions were so good that DC tried to hide them, but... No, I'm only kidding, but they sold very well, actually, and I was proud of them. But that's the only thing I know about where DC did something with Marvel or vice versa. Because I don't know what else you're referring to, and I would like to know. I'd like you to be most specific.
Like, just any of your creations getting together with any of like DC's greatest heroes or villains and seeing how their worlds would, combine.
I think he might be asking you whenever there was.
Oh,
a
whenever
cross.
there was.
What happened? When was that?
I don't know what he's saying. I can't tell what she's saying. I could be sitting here reading a book, not wasting time. Go ahead.
Like how there was crossovers in the 70s all the way like to the 90s. But the one that you were talking about, your stories were so great that I even have a copy with me right now of your Just Imagine Stan Lee's Batman, which was amazing. But that was my question.
He said he has a copy of the book with him, that he really likes it, and the cross happened in the 70s. And so actually, I think we answered the question.
In the 70s, Scott, I don't know one year from another. The only thing I remember, we did a big giant-sized book, Superman versus Spider-Man. No, I think it was Spider-Man versus Superman. We fought about that longer than it took to write the book. Is it going to be Superman versus Spider-Man or Spider-Man versus Superman? So I think we put one name on the cover and we did the reverse name on the back cover, and I don't know, it was stupid. But it was a good book. It was a good book. I'll tell you one thing, Spider-Man didn't lose.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kick-Ass. Okay, right over here.
Hi, Hi. I'm really nervous right now.
Don't be nervous.
But my question for you is, what Marvel woman would you like to get a solo movie?
What Marvel
What Marvel woman would you like to have a solo movie?
would I like to have her own movie?
Exactly.
Every one of them. They're all beautiful and charismatic. Half of them were created by me. The other half are pretty good too. I don't know. There is so much material at Marvel that we can do movies of. We still haven't done Doctor Strange. We're doing the Black Panther. We're going to do the Inhumans and probably others that I'm not even thinking of. And there are women. We'll probably do the Black Widow. We'll probably do the, I don't know. I can't even remember all their names. But whoever they are, you can bet we're going to do them because Marvel isn't going to leave one dime at the box office when they could get it.
I have another question. This is, can I answer it?
Go for it.
This is a pretty big question, but can I take a selfie with you?
I don't think he can take a selfie at this moment, but maybe you can catch him later. He'll take a selfie with you.
Are we
Thank
talking
you.
about
No.
whether she could ask a specific question?
She wanted to take a selfie with you whenever the panel's
Take a
done.
what with me?
A selfie? Like a photo?
A photo with me.
Exactly, yeah.
Really? What, do you have my price list with you? I think it's $25 or something.
Very, we can afford that, huh? Over here.
Hi, I was wondering, do you have a say in what your cameos are going to be in the movie?
Absolutely not. I get a call from somebody, usually the director, and he says, Stan, I want you at the studio at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning or something. We have your cameo. And I show up and I have no idea what it's going to be. I'll tell you a funny thing that happens, though, if you haven't heard this before. I'll show up and I'll be wearing a pair of blue jeans, a white shirt, a pair of white sneakers, and that. And then they say, you have to go to wardrobe. So I go to wardrobe, and the girl at wardrobe says, okay, take off what you're wearing, and I want you to put on this pair of blue jeans, white sneakers, and white shirt. And I say, but that's what I'm wearing. No, it has to be our blue jeans. It's insane. They're always telling me to wear their clothes when what I'm wearing is better, but it doesn't matter. But I never know what I'm going to do, and that's what makes it really so much fun for me. Because if I knew, I probably wouldn't show up. I'd probably say, what, only 6 seconds? I'll be on the screen. It's not worth it. I keep hoping it'll be a long scene. For every movie, I've been expecting a long scene. Please, once, give me a long scene. Maybe if you write enough letters.
You definitely deserve a long scene.
All right, I'm counting on all of you to contact the producers and tell them you want a long scene.
Over here.
Hi, Mr. Stanley, sir. I'm a really big fan, especially of your cameos. I was a little bit worried that you weren't gonna have one when I saw the Ant-Man movie because it was way at the end. I did have a question, but I kind of want to replace it with another because I feel like it would for me it would be like the once in a lifetime opportunity for me. And could I come up really quick and shake your hand? Because I think you're really successful, and I thought that deserves a congratulatory handshake.
Come on up.
I can't wait for you to tell me what she said. Is that okay? Is it permissible?
I hear it is.
They're allowed to touch the very flesh of mine? Is this the young lady? Yeah, how very nice of you. All the people in the audience are saying, how do you like that? He can get off the chair. He can shake. The man can do anything. Thank you very much. That was Very nice. Now, if every one of you want to do that, we're going to be here for a while.
Okay, over here.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for coming to San Antonio. I think on behalf of everyone here, it's just really, I just want to give you a welcome, and I hope you enjoy San Antonio. So I just want to say that.
Thank you for...
Oh, hey, San Antonio is one of my favorite places. Thank you for inviting me. And you are certainly one of my favorite audiences. You people are just great. Of course, I'm easy to please.